Hello, everybody. I have a quick review of a graphic novel. I'm using that term loosely. This is a version of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I like the cover. I think the cover looks great. I think that's a fairly accurate depiction of a Frankenstein creature. I don't know about the green necessarily, because I believe in the novel the description is he's kind of a yellowy gray, dead skin, dead human looking, because he's made out of body parts, right? So not necessarily green. But I do think this is a good cover. I wish I had better light in here so you could see it better. The other thing I like, we'll just get the things I like out of the way before I tear the whole book apart, because it wasn't good. In the very back, we have Frankenstein facts, which I think is pretty good. Again, it's the same rendition of the monster, creature, whatever you want to call him. But it talks about how the idea for Frankenstein came from a dream and that it was a writing contest in Geneva and all that stuff. That it was originally published in 3 parts, all this kind of things. And I think that's pretty cool. It's got a few discussion questions and writing prompts, which I like the idea. I think it's too much opinion-based for the discussion questions. Although if you can support it with details, then, do you think Frankenstein's monster was evil? Why do you think he did such bad things? If you can support it with things from the novel, then that's a okay question. It's not great because it's opinion, but if you can support your opinion, anyway. People feared Frankenstein's monster because of the way he looked. How did this make the monster feel? Have you ever treated someone differently based on their looks? Now, this is an interesting question and can really open up a lot of discussion about things like race, identity, bullying. I mean, you can get some real good discussions, and that, I would say, you could use all the way up through a high school or college level discussion, because there's so much in that you can unpack and discuss. So that's a great question. Victor Frankenstein destroys the monster's wife before she comes to life. What do you think would have happened if the monster's wife had lived? Do you think the ending would have been happier? Again, we're on opinion. I don't know how much you can pull from the novel to support an opinion on this particular question, so it may not be the best question, but it might get some talk going. Writing prompts. I don't know. Create your own super animal. Pick 3 different body parts from 3 different animals, such as a giraffe's neck, a gorilla's body, and shark's teeth. Then pick a name for your animal, such as Girillark, and write a story about it. Okay, that'll be fun as a creative writing exercise. I don't know that it's appropriate for a discussion of Frankenstein necessarily. I mean, I can see where they're coming from. Frankenstein's creature is made out of assorted body parts from different people, whatever he could find to dig up. I don't know that building your own monster animal thing, super animal, is really where it should lead to, but it might work, especially for younger readers. Frankenstein chased the monster almost as far as the North Pole. What do you think would have happened if he had caught the creature? See, here it's all opinion. And I don't know how much you could really pull out of the novel to support your writing. And at a high school level, which I taught this to seniors in high school. When I did my student teaching, we did the novel Frankenstein. And that took up a long time. We did a lot with it. We could have done more if I would have had a more supportive instructor. But with what we had to work with and the time we had, we did quite a bit. And I don't think this would have been anything that I would have really used in that situation, because there's really not a whole lot you can pull to support it. At the end of the story, Frankenstein's monster says that he would destroy himself. Do you believe him? If he doesn't destroy himself, what do you think he would do instead? Write a new ending to the story. Again, it's opinion-based, and it's more of a creative writing than a, response to the novel necessarily. So I'm not sure how that would work. If you want to do a lot of creative writing stuff based on it, yeah, these are great prompts. I just don't know if, you wanted them to write an essay based on the novel. I don't think those prompts necessarily would accomplish what you need to accomplish. I thought this was interesting, and I had never even heard of this website, but this is neat. And I think if it's still an operational website, then this would be very useful. It's called FactHound, www.facthound.com. And it talks about how to use it and, things like that. Select your grade level to learn more about subjects related to the book. You put in the book's ISBN number, collect fetch, and it's supposed to bring up other websites and information that would apply to themes in the book. I don't know how far in the grade levels it goes. I've never seen it before. Maybe we can check it out here in a moment if I can figure out how to add a device to to this and dig it up. Reading level 2.1. Guided reading level M. Aha. I wish I would have known that before I checked this out of the library, because my opinion was it was good for second or third graders because of the way it's written. This is my negatives, but they may not necessarily be as negative as I originally thought. Now that I know that it was really intended for second grade reading level, I didn't know that at the time. And I got this, and I'm thinking, that's awfully thin for Frankenstein. That's a 300-page book, at least. The artwork is really kind of childish compared to other graphic novels. I mean, it's not much detail. A lot of big, chunky things. This page isn't quite so bad. But it's just, the art style is really geared toward younger audience. And they have stripped everything out of the book. You have the very, very, very basics. You have that Victor went to college. He was interested in learning about, what creates life, created his creature. Creature escaped, killed his brother. I hope y'all have read Frankenstein, because I'm spoiling the heck out of it. The very, very basics. It hits the plot points. But all the subtlety is gone. All the thematic stuff is gone. I don't think you really get the sense that the creature is lonely and he's searching for love and acceptance, and he wants Victor to be his father figure because Victor's the one that created him, therefore is his father. It doesn't talk about playing God at all, science versus nature, any of that. All that stuff's stripped away. You have just the bare bones plot points, which is fine for second, third grade level, but why would you be teaching this to second and third graders? As far as gore, nah. Blood, nah. Those things just really are not here. If there is, it's so minor, it's forgettable. There is death. Victor's younger brother, William, is killed by the creature. Elizabeth, his girlfriend, is killed by the creature on his wedding night. So I guess technically his bride, whatever. So those things are there. It talks about this girl named Justine, which they might as well have stripped her out of the book too, because they didn't follow up on her. What happened was, after the creature killed William, the little boy, he took the little boy's locket and then came across Justine, a young woman who happened to be sleeping in a barn. She's like, I don't know, a maid or something. And framed her for the murder by leaving the locket on her. So then she ended up being hanged for the murder, even though she didn't do it. So that's kind of in here, but there's no implications for it. There's no what's the word I want? Ramifications? Is that the right word? There's nothing. I mean, it's like, okay, she got hanged. Let's move on to the next thing. What about that whole storyline? I mean, there's a whole bunch there that you can unpack in the novel, but in here it's just glossed over. It's like, oh yeah, this was a plot point. We'll mention it, but we're not going to do anything with it. Just like the murdering of Elizabeth. We'll mention it, but we're not going to do anything with it. I suppose for the intended audience, which I clearly am not, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. It's fine for second and third graders, which, since the reading level is a 2.1, it's appropriate for second graders. Maybe as far as fourth graders, but I think fourth graders are going to want more. This literally is a glorified picture book. I don't know that I would necessarily call it a graphic novel. It's a glorified picture book. So as far as using it in a high school setting, which is what my mindset was when I requested it, I would look for a different version. You might be able to use some of the discussion questions and writing prompts that I was talking about a little bit ago. Maybe. Maybe as a creative writing project or something, in addition to studying the novel. I liked the 2 pages of facts. I thought those were interesting. And that's stuff that you can use, I don't know, maybe make it a handout, double-sided handout, and give it to your students. But it's not like major stuff. It's the same kind of crap you're going to talk about when you introduce the novel and the author. The information, the bio on the author is kind of skimpy. You can find better info. I don't even think this would be appropriate for a student on an IEP that needs something to give them a little help, because they're not going to get the same information that a better graphic novel would give them. They're losing out. I mean, I don't think it would be a good supplemental material. I don't think it would be a good substitution for a student on an IEP if you're at the high school level trying to teach this novel. Anyway, that's all I have on that. If you want more information about different graphic novels and what have you, I do have some more I plan to read. I think I showed them in a previous video. I think maybe Dracula This one looks more promising. It's a decent sized book. It's almost as thick as the novel. So this has some potential. It's all in black and white. Students will probably be bored because it's black and white. But I do think that this one has some potential. Ooh, is that rats or is that... Yeah, rats. Okay. I was trying to decide if those were rats or bats. They're kind of creepy looking. I like it. But I think Dracula has potential as a graphic novel. So I'll read it, and I can do another what I think about the graphic novel kind of video about that one. But for me, this one, it doesn't do what I wanted it to do. I will look and see if maybe there's a different Frankenstein graphic novel at my library. It didn't say, when I was scrolling through the graphic novels, it didn't say children's. It just said graphic novel. So you take your chances. So obviously it was not what I was expecting. It was not what I wanted. The artwork's not great. It cuts all the interesting stuff out of the book, all the thematic stuff out of the book, and leaves you with a very bare bones, here's some plot points that were in the book. Dug up the body parts, made a creature runs free, everybody dies at the end. I mean, just there's nothing there. There's nothing to get into. I mean, I read the book in less than 10 minutes because there was nothing there. And I'm not a fast reader. And usually with graphic novels, I'm at least looking at the artwork and going, ooh, this is cool, but the artwork's not even interesting. So I'll leave the information about it in the description, but I don't think it's that good. So, yeah. That's all I've got. So I will see you in the next video. Remember to do all the YouTube-y stuff. Comment, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell icon. You know all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.